Refreshing a scenario. This video deals with refreshing a scenario, which means syncing recent edits with the current historical time. When you add and edit events in History in Motion, you can cause events to show up at times other than their proper historical time. For example, here is a scenario in which the time is May 15th, 1839. Let's create an event at a different historical time. Grant said his trip up the Ohio River took about 3 days. Assuming he left on May 16th, that would put him in Pittsburgh on May 19th. So let's create a new point event in Pittsburgh. Call it Arrival in Pittsburgh. He got there approximately on the 19th. Let's assume he stayed about a day. That would be the 20th. We save that, and there's our event. So now we have a map where the current historical time is May 15th, but we're showing an event which doesn't begin until May 19th. Also, if I were to click the right arrow key to move to the next event, we'll go to the end of the full scenario timeline, which goes from May 15th to May 16th, not all the way to the event that we just created. To sync everything up, click on File, Refresh. Confirms that. Now notice that the time slider, which was at the end of the slider bar, is now only about 1/5 of the way there. This is because the full scenario goes from May 15th to 20th now, and the 16th is 1/5 of that duration. Note also that the Pittsburgh event on May 19th is gone. Finally, notice that when I press the right arrow key to go to the next event, it goes from May 16th to May 19th, which is the start of the Pittsburgh event. Refreshing the scenario is a good way to keep from getting confused as to what events are visible at the current time. Bear in mind, however, that refreshing a scenario is not the same thing as saving it. So if I try and open another scenario, I get warned that the changes I've made, namely the addition of this event in Pittsburgh, haven't been saved. So I'm going to save the changes, open up the scenario. To summarize, refreshing a scenario first synchronizes the map display with the current historical date. Second, it updates or creates the full scenario timeline. Third, it puts the time slider at the correct point on the current timeline. And fourth, it does not save the scenario. This concludes the video on refreshing a scenario.